Roam, Protect, Relic, wnJGf, Buster, FShield Toxic Land Toxigen, Oxide, Fougerite, Lodestone, Ochre, Haxonite, Wolsite, Limonite, Magnetite, Hematite, or Pyrite. Do we really, in 2025, have about a dozen, or a baker's dozen, of Rust Legacy clients that we can download? They all have around 0.9 gigabytes. They all have either enhanced client-side anti-cheat and or add-ons or launchers that allow them to contain extra added features. rustlegacy.eu, currently a website that has 0.9 gigabyte generic clients from 2013, 2014, and 2015. One of them, the 2013 version, having zombies, the rest having rad animals. There's also a 2016 version that came out because that's when it was removed from Steam and you could download that. The most commonly used source material is the 2014 version, for whatever reason, to make hacks or alterations. Mostly because that was the version that was the first stable one that may or may not have had placeholders still in it from the 2013 version that you could add and modify. The cheater versions eventually became the standard versions because they didn't offer it anymore. 2021-2023, rustuj, a 1 gigabyte generic 2015 client mixed with some other code, existed. This is almost exclusively that, even though at one point in the last few months, they wouldn't let you go there with the generic clients. They relented and the server stopped excluding rustlegacy.eu's version that is better because it has a map, because the drop-down list in the server browser works, because they shouldn't have excluded us anyway. Yes, I say us because I'm a rustlegacy.eu stan as far as the programs, because they were easily extracted, easily checked for viruses, and have had no problems with them. Meanwhile, rustuj and their servers decided to put us up on top of Mount Everest and not let us move for almost a month. And also a reference to Toxic Land 2022 being wiggled in there a little bit. Let's move on. Client-side anti-cheat versions will be included after this point. Here we go. rustrom.ru, a Rust Legacy version made in 2021 or forward, contains new icons, probably better ones, new textures, again better, or you can just get the generic version, new weapon skins, and it was available and or is available on cloudmailru and Google Drive, but you have to force extract it because it uses a Trust Me Bro installer. But I was able to extract that one. Rustrelic, I just did a video review on that. 800 megabyte download. Obfuscated extract via a product, and it had 0.9 gigabyte standard Rust Legacy, a couple of add-on RustProtect.dlls that are 100K each, a couple of alterations in Unity files for tree and capsule, about 3 megabytes worth, and the RelicLauncher that's 200 megabytes, which is really just the ToxigenMod that may or may not give me some extra features, but no matter how I slice it, unless I apparently do some magic trick or just installing it the way they want you to, again, every other one you just extract it, and it works just fine. The ToxigenMod doesn't want to work, but it will invoke the RustProtect DLLs if you go to their server long enough for it to kick ban you for at now a dozen varying reasons it gives, which means it's not really a reason. Includes 300 megabytes of OS updates for Windows. And the next ones, these are versions I'm referring to, Dead Wolf projects on GitHub and an ancillary website that uses GitHub for most of the files. This one includes a server and client for generic Rust Legacy and a Russian version. Then there's another one that he puts up that contains RustBuster anti-cheat with server and client, again, Russian and American, and Rust Legacy Oxide module, just it to download, which I would like to play with. You put on the server, Russian and English. And that's about it. Now we get to the installer that people keep calling Rust Legacy v25, which I might add into the title for this. That's referring to the 25th of February 2014 version. It's not version 25, it's just version, quote, and then the time and date stamp done in this goofy way where you put century, year, and month in the wrong order. It's century, year, month, and day. It's not supposed to be the other way around. It's not version 25, god dang it. Anyway, I only found a MediaFire link for it, but okay, I'll leave a link to that. Then there's another version called Rust version 25. Now we're at the point it's blown up to, going from 400 up to 800 or 900 megabytes. This is a 1 gig extractable RAR file. Available through a Wix site, MediaFire, Weebly, yada yada. The Weebly one is marked in the description as a scam page. Pretty sure it doesn't really work. But again, version 25 referred to it being the 25th of the month. It's not a version number. But people keep using that because because it does Rust client v25 dot. It assumes that's the title, and now we have that as a meme. Okay. Then there's steamgg.net, a 3 gigabyte Rust version that you download through Pixel Drain, and it calls itself version 2524. Because meme, or maybe that really is the version number. By the way, if you're not aware of it, most of the version numbers I'm looking up don't match this pattern. And yeah, Pixel Drain zip file, at least it's a zip, and it's Rust 2524, and then it says 7/03/2004. So at least we got a time and date stamp in there for the real version number. Now we're going to bring up the dead projects. That's about a baker's dozen because we're dealing with websites that have both server and client. Only one of them is doing the servers anymore. Why aren't all the servers up? Why do people coming up with these projects always delete them later and then they resurrect with seemingly the same people? And they always want you to go to a goddamn Discord instead of posting shit on a web page like a normal person. Back in my day, we yelled at clouds. Let's move on. Rusted.cz, a dead project as of 2016. A legacy client with a launcher.exe. Fougerite, a 1.1 gigabyte Rustbuster build. 2018 client side anti-cheat, but it stopped in 2016 or so. Archive below. Legion Rust and FShield and Fougerite and such. 2024, legionrust.com. Rust Legacy OS1, Australia, New Zealand client, dead 2021. Dead 2022 through 2024, depending. Steam console download of Rust Legacy. You used to be able to use the Steam console up to last year to download Rust Legacy, the clean files. Coincidentally, a bunch of projects stopped. People decided if you couldn't download it automatically, because you would download a script from them that would then download the Rust console, the Steam console, that would then download it and then add hacks. That way you downloaded a really small file with just the necessary things like anti-cheat, Rustbuster, that sort of thing, a launcher, maybe some additional files, and it would inject and build it for you. That is the elegant and proper way to do this, short of giving us instructions and just getting out of our way. But no, the last download of it, which was Christmas time abouts, off of Steam for Rust Legacy, well, I have a copy because I found one that was randomly stored somewhere, but someone added some crap to it, so I had to go through and do a bunch of file checking, virus scanning. 2013, Christmas time just before, to Christmas time 2016 is when Steam Rust Legacy existed. But the console download worked till 2024 and was only brought up in 2022 because people got nostalgic. 2 years after Rust Experimental 2014 came out, December 8th, 2016, on DevBlog 139, Facepunch News, Gary Newman typed, "This week we got rid of Rust Legacy, or Legacy. Steam took it down so you can no longer run it, officially." And ever since then, we've been using the, quote, cheater versions, or pyrite versions, as I like to call them, from previous years, because they're the only ones that work anymore because you got rid of the official version. And again, as of 2024, apparently 2024-06-3, we were able to download a clean copy. I happen to have one clean copy. I didn't get it through the Steam command. Now Steam command, when you load it, auto-updates to something that can't work on your computer and insists on you downloading Windows 10 to continue the rest of the download. And no, it won't let you turn off the auto-update. It doesn't have the feature for it. If you know how to get around this, post a tutorial and give me a link that has the last X number of characters for your video as your comment saying, here's a tutorial on how to do this, the console download. And very importantly, leave the damn video up and make it visible to everybody else. Stop making this about some sort of inner circle elitism. So, this may be the year of Rust Legacy Pyrite version, or Rust Legacy Final Pyrite edition. Because I'm going to try to get every one of these hacks and tools for all of the anti-cheat and all of the enhancements together, reverse engineer how these people integrated them into the game, as well as jailbreaking it, because none of them put up tutorials on how to do this after a while, and some of them deleted them so they could create a scarcity of a market. But hey, all the links below, we get anywhere from 9, 10, 11 downloads, something like that. Maybe a dirty dozen if you want to. There you are. That's what we got to work with. Now, if any of you know of an open project that doesn't require a goddamn use, stop it with Discord and shit. An open page that tells everybody how to do it. You know it? You got it? Give me a link to that. In fact, better yet, run it through archive.today and give me the archive link, last trailing digits with the word archive today, and then that, and I'll figure it out and find it. And then I'll do a video on it if you don't want to stick your neck out. Why the hell is this something that's so proprietary sounding? Why are people doing this? Anyway, Rust Legacy Final 2016 Pyrite Edition, or whatever project you want to call it. We'll mash one together, and it'll be about 1 gigabyte only, and we won't need to have all these different versions and herk-a-derp-a-derp, and everybody could just make all of their servers show up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. We all need luck with that. Bye.